So hi everybody. So continuing from part A where we were trying to make sales dashboard. So we have already made two pivot charts. So we will make another two charts and then we can add slicers to it and then it will start working. So coming to our sales rep. So this chart we have already pasted in our dashboard. So I've created a copy of this and I've created one more sheet. So now the next thing that we want is our top 5 categories which are performing the best in revenue, right? So let's just click on this one. We can go to our pivot chart. So for top 5 performing categories, I'll put sum of revenue in my values because I want them, top 5 performing revenue wise. And in my rows, I'll add the categories. So these are my categories, right? So let's arrange it from largest to smallest. So I'll just right click on any cell and I'll go to sort largest to smallest. So you see, yeah. So then I want the top 5 categories only, but these are more than 5, right? So in order to get the top 5, I'll just go to any cell here in the row label and I'll go to filter. Right click and go to filter. So you have an option of top 10 here. So this dialog box will appear and I can select or go down to 5 here. So top 5 items by sum of revenue. I'll press OK. So these are the top 5 items. Now I want a pivot chart for this. So I think a column, clustered column is the best one. So I'll press OK. Let me reduce the size. And then we will go with the regular formatting exercise. I'll hide all the excuse me. I'll hide all the buttons. Then I'll delete this one. Let's delete the grid lines also. Let me rename it as top 5 5 categories by revenue. So let me delete this also so that it appears a little neat, and I can change the color of this. So you can choose any color. Let's go by this one. And I can add data labels to this, right? But if you see again we need to format it a little. So I'll go to my label options here, click on number. So I want this to appear as currency and my decimal places should be 0. Let's keep the symbol to rupee only and I'll change it to K. See, so instantly this looks better, right? So I'll just copy this chart. I'll go to my dashboard and paste it somewhere here. And now we have one more chart to make. So I'll right click on top 5, I'll click on move or copy. So I want this sheet to appear before the dashboard sheet and I'll click on create a copy. So let's say the last thing or the last chart that we want is we want to have company wise sales data, right? So I'll rename it as company wise sales, right? So since this is a copy only, let me delete this table. So I'll go back to my pivot. I'll get my field list. Now for this, because this is also in terms of revenue only, but here I will change it to company name. So these are the 3 companies. that we are dealing with, right? The shipping companies. Now I want a chart for it. So I think in fact column 1 is better only. So let's go by this one. Sorry for my bad throat. So again we will do that formatting drill. I'll hide all field value buttons. Let's rename it as company wise sales data. I'll delete this. Let me close these windows. We can change the color. So let's select this color. I'll delete this. Let's remove the grid lines, and we can add the data labels. So again the same exercise. If we are going for numbers, then we have to clean the data. So I'll go by currency. Decimal places will be 0 again, and here I'll add K. Yeah, so this looks much better. I'll copy this chart also and I'll paste it on my dashboard here. So we need to arrange it in a symmetrical manner. Let's decrease the size of this one. This we will expand here. We can reduce the size of this one also. And I'll move it up here. See, the basic purpose here is to make it look interactive and beautiful, right? Now, what do you mean by interactive dashboards? It means that these charts should, change their values just by a click. So how do I do that? So let me just zoom in. So this is how it looks now, my sales dashboard, right? So in order to make the changes just by a click, I will go to insert, and you see this thing called slicer here. Okay, so I'll add the slicer. So this kind of window appears, which I will close. So first you have to select any chart here, right? And now click on slicer. So now you will get all the variables, and you can click on multiple variables to get multiple slicers, right? So let's have one slicer by product name. Although there are so many of products, but it doesn't hurt to have one slicer, right? Additional slicer. Then we can filter data on the basis of the salesperson name, right? And let's have one more slicer by the category name. Press OK. See, so these are our slicers. Let me reduce the size of this one. I'll move it here, and since my product name is a little long, and my full name, I'll keep it here. So we'll have to move these things a little to this side. So it's a game of alignment only. Let's move this one also a little bit. So this I'll keep here for time being, and this one here. So this one I'll move here. Yeah, so now we are done here. Let me just drag this one here, and we'll reduce the size of this one. See, so this one, because we have so many products here, right? So I've decided to keep this one a little long, and I'll increase the size here, right? So let me remove all the filters. So now wherever I click, let's say I want to see the data for Mr. Robert King. See, the fields are changing. And let's say I want to see it for beverages. So accordingly it is changing. For confectionaries, now for Mrs. Margaret, right? And I can add the product filters also, right? So let me remove all the filters here. See, all these things are changing. So let me remove the filters here, and we can see the changes for categories here. See, still it is not changing. So one step I forgot to tell you. Right click on this one. So now what you have to do is you have to link these slicers to the products here, right? So for that, right click on report connections. So now you click on all the tables that you have made here, press OK. Then for this also, for all the slices that you have added, click on report connections and select all the tables. So for this also, click on report connections, select all the tables, and now we are done, right? See, so now your data is changing accordingly. So that was it for your slicer. So now you have an interactive dashboard with you, right? And you can accordingly present it in your presentation or anywhere you want to, right? Just by a click, see, all these things are changing. I can select multiple salesperson also just by pressing control, right? Now, so I'm seeing the data for these 3 salesperson for confections. Let's say I want to see for condiments also. So I'll press control here, right? And for dairy products also. So I've added 3 products here, right? So this is how it works. And these are your interactive dashboards using pivot tables and pivot charts. So I hope you understood it. And if you have any doubts, you can put it in comments also. And if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. So that's it. Thank you for listening.